Hi guys, welcome back to AFC Game by Game. Today I'm going to be talking about our recent 3-1 victory at Vicarage Road against Watford. A really good win, it has to be said, after what's been a rather jaded start to the season, having the loss against Liverpool, the draw against Leicester last weekend. To get this win against what was a very good Watford team, I think, really has put us in good standing now heading into the international break. Of course, we've got 4 points from a possible 9, so it doesn't look the best on paper, but this was a much needed win to kickstart our season. And that first half performance from Arsenal was absolutely scintillating. The second half was a little bit nervy at times. Watford got that goal in the 57th minute through their new signing Pereira, and you can't help but feel that Watford maybe should have started him because he did cause our defence quite a few problems at times throughout the course of this game. But nonetheless, that first half performance where we absolutely shut Watford down, did what we had to do in the first half, and it was a bit more leisurely in that second half, which is a shame, I think, because we could have gone for the game a little bit more. I think we could have come away with a 6-0 result or something if we'd have really gone for it, because we were playing such exciting, attractive football, and it was good to see that Alexis Sanchez thrived in that striking role in his third attempt. It was mainly down to the brilliance of Mesut Ozil in behind him. Theo Walcott was actually exceptional today as well. It has to be said, it did take him about 20 minutes to grow into the game, but he linked up so well with Mesut Ozil and Alexis Sanchez as well. He was such a benefit to the team. I think it really helped when he got that assist for Alexis Sanchez's goal, the second one that we scored. That really seemed to boost his ego that little bit more. He was doing some excellent defensive work. His general work rate for the team was phenomenal, and he made some really good runs in behind as well. It was a shame that Alexis couldn't spot him at the end of the game, because he could have potentially made it 4-1 to us. But apart from that, really impressed with the whole Arsenal team. One player that I think was a little bit off the ball was Oxlade-Chamberlain. I thought, to be frank, he had a very poor performance. He really struggled to grow into the game. It remains to be seen whether we'll start him again. But for me, the two players on the flanks picked themselves. I would have no doubts whatsoever going with Theo Walcott and Alexis Sanchez for our game against Southampton in a few weeks' time, and then play Olivier Giroud up top, or Perez. As it does seem like we're on the verge of signing him now. Wenger has come out in the press conference after the game today saying that we've practically completed the signings of Mustafi and Perez, which is very unusual for Wenger to be so open about a transfer. But he says the respective medicals have been done, and it's just a case of sorting out the paperwork. So I'm looking forward to seeing those two players integrated to the club. And someone like Mustafi is going to be such a benefit to the team when you consider that we were a little bit shaky in the defensive department at times. Rob Holding and Koscielny, I thought they were again exceptional today. Koscielny was a little bit scary at times. I thought he had a few moments which were a little bit questionable. I think he could have done a little bit better on the goal that we conceded, as could have Granit Xhaka. But all these players integrating really well. We've got some very good options in and around the side. We saw that today when we lined up with Xhaka and Cazorla in the midfield pivot. And when you've got those two in front of the back four, and we're playing a team like Watford where we've got that little bit more license to roam, and we can be a bit more experimental with the team, it's an excellent option to have. And then to go to somewhere like Old Trafford, and we could play Coughlin and Xhaka, be a little bit more defensive and robust in midfield. I mean, it's excellent to have these options, and I am excited going forward into the new season with all these different midfield players that we've got. And then when you consider we had Xhaka, Cazorla and Ozil playing in a midfield three when we're playing the lesser clubs such as Watford, Sunderland, what have you, with all respect to them, as good teams as they are, with those kind of players that we've got in the midfield, it's phenomenal to watch them play. The way they keep possession, the way they pass the ball. Xhaka, earning comparisons to Xabi Alonso today, rightly deserved. He was exceptional throughout the course of this game. His passing, his defensive work was second to none. He does make a few rash challenges at times, but I think the more he plays in an Arsenal shirt, the more that will come to him. He'll be able to time his tackles a little bit better, but he seems to have everything in his locker, and he's the perfect midfielder for us, alongside someone like Cazorla. He works so well, and when Ramsey's back, maybe he'll work so well alongside him. But for me, we simply can't change that midfield three at the moment of Xhaka, Cazorla and Mesut Ozil, because they keep the ball so well. They're so good playing alongside each other. And then, as I say, we've got options such as El Nene, Copley and Wilshere, Ramsey all to come back. But for me, that midfield three picks itself. On the wings, that's where things get a little bit more questionable. But as I say, the players that I'd be looking to use going forward would be Walcott and Alexis, with Giroud, Perez up top. We could even look to play Alexis and Perez on the flanks as well, because Perez can be utilised as a winger. And with the imminent deal of Mustafi coming in, very good defence that we've got shored up. One thing that was a little bit concerning today was a potential injury to Nacho Monreal. Kieran Gibbs came on. I thought he did very well with the time that he was on the pitch, but Monreal, I do hope he's not out too long, because he is such an integral player to this Arsenal team, and he has really proved himself over the past 2 seasons. So hopefully he won't be out for too long. He didn't look to be hobbling off the pitch too badly, so let's wish him all the best. But getting into today's game, it couldn't have started any better. Alexis Sanchez winning a penalty. It was a definite foul in my opinion. I know that it's been heavily debated soon after, but he went in with his elbow. He caused what could have been, quite serious injury to Alexis Sanchez. Thankfully, he didn't get injured. It was a penalty. Cazorla slotted it home right down the middle. It was really good to see that. It was a fantastic penalty by Santi Cazorla to make it 1-0 to the Arsenal, and we couldn't have started the game any better. From that point, we really did seem to grow into it. Our confidence really grew, and later on in that second half, we got the second goal. It was great work down the right-hand side through Theo Walcott and Hector Bellerin as well, linking up. The pass, the cross, should I say, from Theo Walcott was pinpoint to Alexis Sanchez. He made a little bit of a hash of the finish, and there were a few eyebrows raised as to whether it did actually cross the line, but it did, despite the finish being pretty abysmal, you could say. But Sanchez, he really needed that goal, and he won the penalty as well. Had an absolutely sensational first half, and then not too long after that, the third goal came in right on the stroke of half time, and it was one of the simplest goals we're ever going to score. As good as we were in the first half, Watford were absolutely shocking, and this goal summed up just how poor they were. Alexis Sanchez practically just waiting by the corner flag and then crossing in the ball to Mesut Ozil, who made a superb run into the box, and then a bullet header past the goalkeeper to make it 3-0 on the stroke of half-time. And we should have gone into that second half with a little bit more enthusiasm. I think it started well. We had a good chance to score. Theo Walker having another good opportunity. It was a shame he couldn't get on the score sheet, but the opportunities were there. We should have taken one of them, made it 4-0 whilst we could have done. We did allow Watford somewhat of a lifeline because they got their goal back in the 57th minute. Like I say, they had a few more half chances, but Czech was very good in goal. The defence held firm. In previous seasons, maybe we would have choked in that situation, but it's good to see that we're being a little bit more disciplined. We certainly are helped with the addition of Mohamed El Nene and Granit Xhaka, because those players really did seem to tighten up the midfield. It was a lot more defensively minded from Arsene Wenger, which is good to see. He was using his head, whereas in other seasons he's made the wrong substitution, and we've gone gun-ho a little bit, and we've ended up losing the game or dropping a potential 3 points. But we haven't done that today. We saw out the game very well. It's a shame that we didn't get a clean sheet, because that would have been really good for the confidence of Rob Holding as well. And to get 2 clean sheets on the bounce would have done us really well. But with the deals of Mustafi and Perez coming in, it's hard to say that I'm not excited going forward into the upcoming games we've got against the likes of Southampton. And we've got 2 games coming up against Southampton, and I'm not too sure who else we've got to play. It might be Sunderland, but I might be wrong on that. But we've got an opportunity to pick up 6 points out of 6 in our next 2 games. If we can get 3 wins on the trot, that'll be a couple of really good results for us. And then we play Chelsea, which is going to be one of our biggest games of the season. I really do hope that we can do a number over them this season whilst Jose Mourinho is not in charge. But that's going to be a difficult one at home. We're building a very exciting team now with Perez and Mustafi coming in. Those will hopefully complete the puzzle. And who knows what's to come this season. If we get another player in, this so-called madness that I've mentioned over the past 2 videos would be rather exciting. But, only time will tell. But it was good to get the win today. 3 points to the Arsenal, a good 3-1 victory away from home. And I'll go into the international break feeling somewhat relieved that Arsenal are getting back to winning ways. Anyway, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments box below. Please do drop a like on the video if you have enjoyed it. Thanks to everyone that's tuned in throughout this. And I will be speaking to you very, very soon.